Yeah. Good morning. Mr. Royce J presents Road Rage. Let's get it. Let's get some road rage. Let's get it. How y'all doing today? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I got some better sleep last night, so I'm ready to go. I'm ready to run my mouth. Ready to do some rants. Ready to babble. Ready to give the people what they want. Because make no mistake, if you come here, you are going to hear me rant, babble, and rage. That's what I am going to do. Yeah, yeah. We'll talk about current events. I'll give my thoughts on it. Um, I'll read some of the comments, and I'll talk about the comments. Um, and we'll have a good time doing it for the next, at least, for up to the next 2 hours. So I'll give uh I'll give a few minutes for people to get into the room and we'll get going. For road rage, I don't really have a set. Right now, I really don't have like set themes. Other than just me babbling, talking about some of the stuff that I've seen um, throughout various media sources. Uh, YouTube being one of them. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and we'll talk about stuff, and I will give my commentary. So, other than that, what else is going on, man? You know, I don't have much going on, other than this show right now. You know, I am here to entertain you all. Yes, sir. Yep. So, um, we're still reeling off of the Cat Williams, Shannon Sharp interview. There's a lot of commentary leaking into the market. This morning, I saw some commentary by Lavelle Crawford, another comedian that I find very entertaining. He was talking about, uh, he was giving his opinions on pretty much the situation in general, and I think he was very diplomatic in what he had to say. You know, more or less, uh, more or less, uh, he pretty much, you know, said, you know, there's enough money out here for everybody, and uh, and he did deny the things that Cap was saying. So you know, it was a pretty good interview. You know what I'm saying? It's a pretty good interview. I have no complaints. Mike Epps, he had something briefly to say about the the whole incident, the interview, and he was like he was and it was like a half joke. He was mentioning that he wished that Cat would have said something about him, good or bad, because he has a special coming up, which I, I don't blame him. It was, it was pretty funny. But that just goes to the saying that there's no such thing as um, bad attention. Attention is attention, positive or negative. The thing is, and especially so in the line of, if you're in the public eye in entertainment, all attention is good attention. You know, I believe that was a P.T. Barnum that first went on record saying something to that effect. I don't know exactly how he said it, but he was saying that there's no such thing as bad attention, something like that. Um, so that's what that's pretty much what it is, you know. So anyway, um, trying to figure out some more stuff to do with OBS, trying to figure out some ways to grow this show, um, to grow this channel so I can bring you guys more entertainment, you guys and you ladies, you know, if there are ladies that are brave enough to venture over here, you know, uh, you know, I'll bring I want to bring as many people as possible some in my brand of entertainment. So, and like I said, this is a venture in which I'm building it as I fly. So, um before as I was getting ready for the show, I was actually watching a video by Dr. Thunder. Shout out to Dr. Thunder. He's another content creator that I enjoy. If you have not, um, if you don't know Dr. Thunder, um, go check out his channel under the same name. If you like his content, um, throw him a like and subscribe. Um, but he was talking about pretty much the show that he's got going on is, you know, something that I think he was inspired by something Candace Owens said. Who Candace Owens is another content creator we talked about. Go check her channel out. But women have become perverts, and you know, this is a woman saying this, and she, like I said, she inspired Dr. Thunder. Um, you know, and I'll tell you this much. It's hard to argue with all of the stuff I've seen in my 52 years of life. There's, I don't think women are as outwardly perverts, but I think they are just as perverted as men. It's like I said before, women like sex almost as much as men, probably more. You know, uh, you know, women have senses of humor. You know, women are human, and that's what we, I think that's what many people forget in society, and uh, we either deify women or we vilify women instead of just saying women are human. They are capable uh, of pretty much the same thing as men, but I think they're either giving too much grace or they're too vilified, and I think that's where we have to be careful. And that going to decide women where it is to men. I was listening to Hood Servative, and y'all know I'm Hood Servative is one of my favorite content creators, and he came up with a term called world building, that women engage in world building, and this term was fascinating. Man, it's basically what he was saying was that um women will take an idea um and they will make it they'll build a whole universe around it. Um, and we really see this, but like especially nowadays because it happens in real time. They'll um hear about something horrible, or they'll experience one horrible event, and that becomes the universe. And they extrapolate it out into every avenue of life, and you know that becomes pretty much what that life is. Now, I've seen this in other places, not just women. Um, being a combat veteran, um, you know, I've seen this actually happen with, you know, some military veterans. You know, everything is combat, but it's oddly enough, it's not with. It's I haven't seen it oddly enough with actual combat veterans. I've just seen it with people who are in the military, and they they had an experience they didn't like, you know, and everybody's a villain. Everything is a conflict after that, you know. So, I mean, it is what it is. But that concept of world building was it was definitely intriguing as far as I'm concerned, and I would actually like to touch bases with Hood and get him to build on that, or at least to define it in greater detail to me. I like I said, it was very intriguing and provocative, and all of those $20 words that you or I can think of, you know. So uh, that's what it is. And getting back to what Doctor Thunder is over there talking about, if he hasn't already ended the show, is basically some of the things that some of the perverted and sexually provocative things that um, you have women doing for attention. Like this one girl, she decided to paint the lower half of her bodies. And she was kind of, when I was watching, she was the focus of the show. She painted the lower half of her body, uh, you know, uh, with nude paint. And there is such thing as nude paint. She painted the lower half of her body and went to the gym to see what kind of attention she would get. And, she had on a thong, but, that was all painted to paint it into her whole, paint project. But, she went to the gym to, you know, under the auspice of working out. She went there to see what kind of attention she got. And she got attention, but it wasn't the attention that she was looking for. She got more or less, hey, you need to get up out of here. Dressed like that, that's inappropriate. This is not the place for what you're doing. And she got a glimpse of you know, that the men there uh were somewhat disturbed at how she was carrying on. So, then show some other videos of women complaining about they um they don't believe that men don't want them to dress provocative because when they dress modest, men don't talk to them, you know. And it's funny, you know, they want, I call it whole tension, whole tension, whole tension. They don't want simply attention; they want whole tension. Out of one side of a lot of these women who get on social media, out of one side of their mouth, they talk about wanting to be respected for their mind, their views, and all of this stuff. But then, they'll, you know, you'll see them with the provocative pictures, like on Facebook. I can't tell you how many women in my age range, older, younger, take the photos, the Facebook cover photos, or they have throughout, things they post on social media with their ass cheek, with an ass cheek turned to the camera, you know. So They want the whole tension. you know, the provocative, low cut blouses and super tight, these leggings and all this stuff. Man, I'm so tired of seeing women in these leggings. It's like either they got the box jeans on, or they got the super tight leggings, and a lot of these chicks ain't going to the gym or working out like that, but they got these leggings on, or they wear the box jeans. I'd rather see them with the box jeans where they built like a 1940s boy. you know, I'd rather see that because the other stuff is alarming, man. And it is natural to look at your surroundings and the people in your surroundings and make assessments, but somehow these women will wear these leggings and wear all of this tight stuff and expect you not to look at them. That's the dumbest. That it, that's got to be the dumbest shit um, I've ever seen in my life. It doesn't make sense, but you'll have guys that will comply to that you know. No, and it's like, what are you do? Why are you listening to this fool? Why are you paying attention to what this goofette is saying? You know, and the good thing is that now women are calling out this stuff more and more, and a lot of it is probably for attention from a lot of it is probably for um attention for social media platforms or to make money. Okay, yet and still the message is getting out, and and little by little it's having an effect. you know how much of an effect it will total out to be, I have no idea, but um it's starting to have an effect. It's like uh you know, you've got things with guys like walking around, like the saggy pants thing. You know, uh, you're starting to see that go away because it looks stupid. It looks dirty, unkept, and it's starting to go away. Little by little. I think that era is finally over. Um, well, I think in some parts, it's finally over. In some parts, it never took. Some parts it took and remained for a few decades. but I think now uh, men are starting to see that's not the best look. Um, I think conversely, men are starting to you have some males starting to wear the leggings, which is a whole nother issue. We're gonna talk about. We, we might get into it a little bit later, but I think little by little, it's starting. You're starting to see a change. I can tell you this much. I think this current era of whole tension, or whore tension, kind of started with the Kim Kardashian and Paris Hilton tapes back. Ooh, I want to say that stuff was 20 years ago now, something like that. I think it started back then and just grew, and you know now it's today what it is. I was looking at something with that rapper, Sexy Red, uh, and she had on this get up like a super hoe get up. I was like, it. That's what they got going on, man. Uh, it's you know, hopefully you have the likes of Candace Owens, just pearly things, you know, uh, Monique. you know, hopefully, the pushback of women like this will kind of curb what's happening um, with women. But we're starting to see women be, um, and it's not all women. It's not all women. I know one of you, uh, you know, uh, gender gender war chicks will come over. It's not all women, uh, but we're you know you're starting to see we're seeing a lot of women just display the that you know chaotic sexual side, and it's like you know uh, nobody wants to restrain them, like men. But the thing is, the truth is, they need to be restrained. We need to bring back. We need to put shame on the side for the benefit of society, because the whole tension is it's getting to be too much. It's getting to be too much. And the thing is that you don't want to keep having kids grow up in that, because you don't want that indoctrination. The earlier they get that indoctrination, the harder it is to get rid of that stuff. So there's got to be brakes put on that. All right. So enough about that. Um, let's talk about. Um, actually, I need to see if I can find this video of you know, the Claudine Gay uh situation. Let me see if I can find that. Maybe we can go through that, because the hearings to see whether she should that led up to her resigning from Harvard. Yeah. So I was watching a little bit. Um, I was watching that a little bit the other day, and I had no idea just how vigilant the people you know going after her in the hearings uh were. I It was my first time of finding of hearing about this or seeing anything with it. And I was like, yo, they were not playing with this woman. She didn't toe the company line, and they they had it in for her, man. Um, let me see. I don't even. Democracy now has a Democracy now has a video on it. I'm not even wasting the time going looking at it, because you know yeah, this is an echo chamber over here. I don't, and I'm not bringing that goofy over here, that opposing view with that over here. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Nope. Say what you want. Oh well, it's gonna be an echo chamber when it comes to this. Boy, it's gonna be what it is today. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna pull up this video. We'll check it out.
Sound have advanced search filters to help you easily find the exact mood, genre, duration, or pace that you're looking for, and this saves you a huge amount of time.
The embattled president of Harvard University is keeping her job despite her train wreck testimony at last week's congressional hearing.
Does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Harvard's rules of bullying and harassment, yes or no?
It can be, depending on the context.
It does not depend on the context. The answer is yes, and this is why you should resign.
Harvard's governing body said in a statement
So this was I guess like 3 weeks ago. Yeah, this is 3 weeks ago. And that let's go back to this right here at the hearing.
It can be, depending on the context.
It does not depend on the context. The answer is yes, and this is why you should resign.
Harvard's governing body,
Obviously, a Republican, and this has been turned pretty much into a Republican versus Democrat issue when this is really, it's really an issue of clout versus, policy versus what's actually fair. And, like I've said before, with what Claudine Gay said about, free speech on campus, I agree with that. But she has demonstrated during her tenure that she really doesn't believe in free speech because she fired a professor because of who his client was, outside of the university. So she doesn't really believe in what she said. She believes in it for herself, but not for others, under her purview that she could, that she can exercise influence over, she can exercise authority over, so it's, while what she said, I agree with, her actions have shown her to be disingenuous. So, anyway, all right. So, that's what you have with that. All right, moving on. Let's find something else to talk about. You know, um, I'll probably revisit that Claudine Gay situation in depth later because, like I said, this is basically a clout war, and you know, I think we've really underestimated the power of clout, and I think it's going to play a larger role going forward into the 2024 election season. We're going to see a lot of cloud wars, and it's and really uh, I think there's going to be a lot of exposure on cheating and not just the relationship side because way too many of you all are focused on sex parts and feelings and cheating when it comes to that, when there's a whole lot of cheating that has nothing to do with that happens. And Claudine Gay is an example of people cheating their way to the top, and she's not the only one by any means. I remember being in high school and college and watching, you know, certain ethnic groups, they had organized cheating, boot camps. It was damn near like boot camps where, they would work on cheating, and cheating spans all of the lines, the racial and economic lines. Well, I'm not going to say all the economic lines. It, they cheat at the top a lot. They cheat a lot, but it spans all of the racial lines. I will tell you that much. There's a lot of cheating, going on. Clout, to me, lots of times, it is a form of cheating. Um, nepotism is definitely a form of cheating, to, but we don't always consider that cheating, you know. So I think that's something that we need to look into. We need to look into the scammings and all of this stuff. I think maybe this traffic show, it might be a good idea to take this show in that direction. So that being said, I need to take a quick break, and I will be back. I wish I had some music to play for you. I think I do got some music to play. I'm sitting there running my mouth. Think I might have some, you know, think I have some music I have license to.
Matter of fact, I still think the
Really, man, I tell you that our little buddy academics. We're gonna talk about how his simpery gets him in trouble. We're gonna talk about that. Let me go take this break, grab this coffee real quick. And I'm back. And I'm back. I'm back. Yeah, man. So, all right. Simpery. Um, I tell you, especially in this day and age, especially in this day and age, most men in the U.S. we are susceptible to it. I've been, I've been susceptible to it. Um, you know, most men are, you know, and it is what it is, and we have to be aware of it and be on guard because we'll do things uh, for women that women that are women we know or women we don't know, um, out of benevolence that they probably don't deserve. Quite frankly, we'll give them too much access to things such as our resources, our time, our attention that they probably don't deserve. You know, now it's different for family members, you know, such as spouses and children. But and even with that, we have to be careful that you know we have to be mindful that if we have certain boundaries that should be crossed, we need to maintain those boundaries with our spouses and children, even even with our mothers, and that's the big one. You know, a lot of guys liking other women to their mothers. Um, when mom might have been a walking, talking trash bag, you know, or mom might have been a great woman. You know, she might have been a good person, but you know, just because other women look like her don't mean that those other women aren't walking, talking trash bags. You know, and you know, I think we have to be on guard for that in order to uh, you know, protect the things around us that need protecting, even and to protect people around us that need protecting. You know, and I mentioned um, a couple seconds ago about boundaries, and believe it or not, those boundaries serve as protection not only for us, but for those women in our circles, those women under our you know care, those women um, that we are responsible for. You know, and make no mistake, you got women talking all that strong and independent stuff. You know, at the end of the day, they still uh, want to be under the coverage of a man when they want to be. So, you know, a lot of times you can't even listen to them when they talk all of that equality nonsense. You know, but getting back to boundaries, those boundaries serve to protect them. You know, women who talk about not feeling protected, not, you know, crying about protection, these are the same women who uh, are disrespectful and do not acknowledge and do not respect boundaries. You know, the minute you tell them, hey, that's probably not something good to do, or don't cross that line, they're figuring out ways to cross the line, you know, do the little, yeah, you know, and no matter the age, you'll have women that'll test those boundaries. And the thing about it is, because in this society, it's not um, acceptable to deal with women who cross boundaries like we do men. They have a lot more opportunities to violate boundaries. So, you know, so and we as men, a lot of times we let it slide because of the simping gene in us, the simping gene, the simping programming, you know, and we have to be careful of that. We have to be mindful of that. Every day, I have to remind myself, um, keep that simp in me, uh, restrict him as much as possible. you know, keep, put boundaries on that simp in me as much as possible. You know, that being said, that's not saying go out and be, Captain He Man woman hater, because that's not going to work either because you'll wind up being a subject or being subjected to the system, social shames, and all of that. Um, and so you have to navigate that effectively. And um, it, one way you do that is by understanding the power of no. You know, no, the power of disengaging from women who seek to manipulate you and what they can get from you. You know, don't be afraid to tell them, nah, nah. You know, don't be afraid to make them pay. They fought for the right to work and get their own money and have their own independence. So make them pay for everything. Especially if this is a woman that is not under your covering. This is not a woman. who is under the covering of one of your close friends, make them pay for what they want from you, your time, your attention, all that. Charge them a fee. Something. I don't care what the fee is. It doesn't have to be monetary. It could be, hey, if I go do this, you need to fix this, or you need to charge them something. Don't just do stuff out of the goodness of your heart. Do not waste time being benevolent. Make them pay something for your non sexual, non romantic attention, time, attention, and all of that stuff, because that stuff is valuable. So they need to give something in return other than a pat on the head. You're a good man. That's how they get a lot of you dummies. No, no. Preferably you should charge them money. Charge them money. Hey, if I gotta come over and fix this, a sub sandwich in the case of beer, something, you know, something. You know, uh, they fought for the right to be able to drive and buy cars. Make them pump their own gas if it's, you know, man. Yeah, yeah. We got a lot of simping that we need to wade through and fix. You a lot of this chivalry bullshit. Women think chivalry is how you treat women when it's actually rules of war, how warriors treat the public, and they locked on to the you know part where they get the good treatment from men. And all right, what I got going on? They locked on the part where they get the treatment that they like from men, and you know they want to keep that, but all of the other stuff that comes with chivalry, we don't need that. We want you to open the doors and pay for all the meals. And, all of that shit, man. So yeah, yeah. That needs to be, um, and this is how men are manipulated into doing stuff, and that's all. It's all a part of simplery, And this stuff, we are conditioned by our mothers and the women in our family and stuff to basically be the men that they don't like. you know, you be having these single mothers trying to turn their kids, their sons, into the men that they look past. you know, to 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 get with a dude that wouldn't marry him. you know, that's a funny thing. All right, enough about that. So, man, um, as I've told you guys before, I'm a fan of Anton Daniels. I like a lot of his content and stuff. I don't like a lot of the motherfuckers he put on. Excuse my language. I don't like a lot of the people he put on. I think a lot of them were clowns, but they were probably useful to get attentions to his platforms. Um, and when those relationships ended between him and them, he moved on, but they're still here. And one of those guys is Jay Prince. Jay Prince is the he is the epitome of the everyday Pookie in my opinion. Jay Prince, looks like he smells like uh, blunt smoke, old stale blunt smoke, uh, and Hennessy. Um, Jay Prince was, he looks like everything that I avoid in public. you know, he looks like everybody I avoid in public. I really don't want to, have time. I really don't want to spend a whole lot of time talking to and interacting with, for several reasons. But he reminds me of that, he's a he's a pokey. He's one of these BLM guys that he's um, one of the I don't talk to the police under no conditions. You know, um, to the point to where he told Anton Daniels once, if Anton got shot, he wouldn't call the police to to save Anton's life. Um, you know, he's that kind of guy, and you know, now we got to deal with this fool popping up. Thanks, Anton. Thanks, Anton Daniels. Thank you. For introducing us to Jay Prince. And this is not saying Jay Prince from Texas, the totally an entirely different Jay Prince with a entirely different set of circumstances. Uh, but that being said, this Jay Prince, uh, the YouTube Jay Prince was talking about a interaction that he had with a young woman he met. He was talking to Kendra G about this. Uh, he had an interaction with a young woman that you know that pretty much came to a situation of where uh a sexual interaction was developing, and during the course of that interaction he discovered that this woman didn't have the best hygiene, to put it mildly, in the intimate areas. So let's see if I can find it. Shout out to Angry Snowman for talking about this. Shout out to my dude Angry Snowman who did this video on his channel yesterday. Let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can find this. This might be it. Let me see if I could find it. When she came over there. Okay. All right. I believe I have video of this situation. I can't pull it. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Might be able to pull it up. Mm. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's go through this video, man. Let's go through this. Yeah, buddy.
Typically. So what do you normally
This
use?
why this why I took you to the hotel.
6 months old, JP. You're not supposed to use those for more than 30 days.
This was a while ago, but this why I took to the hotel.
You're still.
I was scrubbing. I was like, man, fuck a towel. I'm finna scrub good. I want this.
Towel.
She on G, so
JP,
I got
use a towel to dry off, brother.
Uh-oh. All right. Hold on. I'm getting some. Yeah, I'm getting some.
The hell?
Double feed. All right. Yeah, okay. All right, let's get back to the video. Fair use, fair use.
And what I usually do, I soak it in bar soap. Then I got my liquid soap. Let me show you.
God damn, Jay.
This man
Jay, you ain't like them white people just use
more than 30 days. I didn't know that. All right.
So this the cocoa, because cocoa butter smell good, right? And it's thick. So this the cocoa butter soap.
Where'd you grab that bar soap?
Body wash.
Okay.
It looks like some Dollar Tree shit.
And this don't burn when you jack off meters.
All right. On this part, this is Jay Prince talking about his hygiene regimen, what he does to get himself fresh and clean. You know, the basic, hood hygiene. So let's get back to the video and see what else he has to say. Fair use, fair use. Hold on. Okay.
The hell?
She said it don't burn when he jack off.
Oh, Lord.
Damn.
Let's get back to the video.
Up and make it better, because you're not going to get the top 10 vagina with a resume like that, Jay.
I hate to say it, but I wanted to fight that woman, but because I was so my hopes was up high.
Let's go back a little bit.
What the hell?
She said it don't burn when he jack off.
Oh, Lord.
Damn.
All right, here it is. I think he goes into his interaction with the woman that wasn't too hygienic during their intimate interaction.
Let's get back to the video.
Up and make it better, because you're not going to get the top 10 vagina with a resume like that, Jay.
I hate to say it, but I wanted to fight that woman, but because I was so my hopes was up high. You know how your hopes and stuff be up high.
Just like men be telling women, you need to start realizing your real reality of who you can date. Some of you men out here reaching for the stars that you ain't gonna get the stars. Jay, you got 3 kids with 2 possibles. You're not gonna get a top tier woman like that. So if this vagina smells,
but you don't never tell no woman that comes on your shit. She never tells no woman this ever. Ever.
All right, by the way, this is Jay Prince narrating his own video. And this is him on the right side of the screen. As you all can see, he is it is what it is with him. Let's continue.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'm curious, Jay Prince. Was it the same woman braiding your hair?
No. Her pussy smelled real good.
So, all right. So, yeah, this is what Jay Prince was talking about. This is pretty much, this is him and his interactions, and let's continue.
Okay.
go get her some Dove. You said she looked good. Fix her up and make her the woman that you want her to be. Because all these good, classy ass vaginas ain't gonna reach out to you, Jay.
Oh, you just hurted my whole soul. Why you say that?
Because what was the classy ass vagina?
He said, hurted my whole soul. Hurted my whole soul. Ebonics. Let's continue.
Wait a minute.
With 3 baby mamas and 2 possibilities. Who gonna do that?
But hold up. What's that woman? Russell Wilson, Sierra. So Sierra can have men can be stepfathers, right? And men can come into a woman's vicinity, and
so right here he goes off into a goofy tangent that went from female hygiene and you know you know uh Kendra responding that he needs to recognize who his dating base is and fix those women up to be the women he wants to be. To you know, he went into a whole thing with Sierra can ask for, and women like her, and women can ask for stepfathers, and but men can't ask for the women that they want. It was a whole goofy, uh, rabbit hole conversation. Shout out to Jay Prince. You want to hear more, crazy rabbit hole, uh, pookie rabbit hole discussions. Check his content out. So yeah, yeah. So it is what it is with a guy like that. So you know, um, yeah, man, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, but that's what it was with that. And it's like, you know, that's the other side of what's out here. Having a lot of these relationship discussions, it's guys who don't have it together. They don't have it together, um, but they are more focused on uh, getting the getting sex than they are getting their life in order. In that whole conversation with Jay Prince, he was explaining how uh, he met a woman in Texas, um, that he's not sure if he got her pregnant or not, but while he was out there and seeing this woman, he was living in a storage unit. He was living in a storage unit while he was out there for like 2 years. So, you know, this is what he had going. This is what he was talking about. I need to find a video of him talking about that. Let's see if we can find the video of Jay Prince talking about this. Man, I'm telling you, Angry Snowman did a he, he did an assassin level job on, on the Jay Prince situation, man. Let me see if I could find. Let me see if I could find that video. Um, this is different Jay Prince, which I doubt you would find that gentleman. Limited storage unit. Let's try. You know, on the one hand, I want to organize this show, have it flow a little bit better, but then I think this show needs a certain amount of rawness. Um, Let me see. Yeah, Jay Prince is he's a character. He's definitely a character. Let me I don't know. You know what? Maybe it's in the video I already have. Let's take let's look at it some more. Let's look at it some more. Let's see what we got here.
And I know who her baby daddy really is and be a step. Yeah, because Kendra G has stated that women can pull men and bragging about how a woman could have kids and telling men that a woman with a few kids ain't that bad. So I don't understand why she telling me this. So men is not deserving of a stepmama, but a woman is. And a lot of these women don't even know half of their baby daddies is their real baby daddies.
You mean to tell me
women can't be a stepmama?
Hold on, real quick. If you gonna tell the Sierra story, you tell the full Sierra story. First of all, she had one child. We knew who the father was. She's also worth millions of dollars. She's in circles that
He
also.
worth more.
Hold on, real quick. You just can't talk about that's not Sierra's story. She didn't come with 5 baby daddies and 5 kids. She came with one child. One child. Okay. Russell
Steve
Wilson.
Harvey.
All right. Wakanda is making my head hurt.
Still experiencing some fucked up ass women. Look how look at Diddy. Look what he going through this bitch.
Did you just
right?
He Diddy?
Fair use, fair use. Yeah.
Yes, we supposed to be entitled to something good.
So yeah, a lot of these pookies, um, they have a sense of entitlement as well. You know, there is a female entitlement, there is a male entitlement, and you have different subsections of entitlement within both groups, and we are seeing what Pookie entitlement looks like. Let's continue.
So JP,
Yeah.
what did you say to her when she was smelling bad? How did you end that situation? I'm curious to know.
First off, I said, damn. See, like when she was bending over, right? And you know how women be spraying their cheeks apart? That's when I really smelled the worst because I was gonna go in.
God.
And I was still trying to find a reason like to ignore it and just gonna go in anyway.
God.
But it seemed like it just kept going. It just kept getting worse and worse.
So
to the point
when
where
you was down there eating that pussy, when you was down there eating that ass.
Oh, okay. All right, all right. I've had enough. I've had enough. Your boy cannot continue. Uh, Sadly, I cannot continue. It's a little too much for me. So yeah, it's a little too much. So, but if you are at work and you're listening to this, please have your earbuds in. I don't want anybody to get fired for that. But that's the rabbit hole. You know that sometimes I'll be exploring on this show, and yeah, man, this is it's wild, man. I look at it like this: that guy can get, he's got like over 5,000 subscribers. Uh, it lets me know I got work to do because if he can do that, talking about what he talked about, you know, I should be able to do something like that, talking about what I talk about, or even, making fun of what he talks about. But yeah, this guy, he's wild, bro. he is, woo, he is wild, Um, yeah, yeah, man. So yeah, but as I was mentioning before, this is the other side of that of the argument. We talk about the nonsense. Um, we talk about a lot of nonsense with the female persuasion. Uh, but you know, you there's a lot of stuff with with these guys as well, man. They out here buck wild, man. You know, they out here saying all kind of crazy stuff. You know, so yeah, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, so for you all out there in the chat, uh, do me a favor, hit the like button. Uh, hell, he even hit the thumbs down. But announce yourself, give your opinions um, about what we're talking about. Uh, you know, let me know where you're from. I like to kind of have an idea of how far this show is reaching out, and hopefully we could, you know, like I say, we can do things to grow this show. Um, I would like it. You know, I do appreciate some input, but that being said, I'm not going to turn this show into, you know, puppies and butterflies. You know, if that's what you all, that's what some of you all want, tough. You know, you know, we got metal and skulls over here, bitch. You know, we enjoy, you know, whiskey and fist fights. That's what we like over here. You know, you want you want TD, you know, you want power bottom Jakes. You need to go over there. You need to go over there with where they do that stuff at. We don't do that over here. You know, we almost gangbangers over here. Yeah, we almost gangbangers over here. You know. Yeah, man. So, yeah, so you got that situation going on. Hey man, there's so much stuff to talk about. I don't have time, I don't even know where to start. And so, um, you know, probably the best thing to do is to just, you know, pick a spot and dig in, you know. Um, so we'll you know, we'll just we'll do that, you know, pick out different spots and we'll go from there. All right. This whole this whole thing uh with Trump, man, it'll be interesting to see because it's the thing about stuff like this, it swings both ways, you know. And this is the thing with the pendulum. Um, I think some of the stuff that's being launched against him, you know, it's all political theater. It's all uh, it's all um, it's all to just basically steer an election um, in the way towards his opposition when they really don't have anything to run on, even though They've had the office for pretty much the past 3 years, and the thing is that they've done a lousy job, and so because they've done a lousy job, they can't run on their record. They have to um, remove the opposition um, through oppression. They can't say, "Hey, we did this and this and this," because it's all stuff people didn't ask for. It's like, "Hey, we didn't, we didn't want this stuff y'all doing." You know, we didn't, we didn't ask for this. We didn't ask to be sending billions of dollars to the Ukraine. We didn't ask for you to leave all our billions of dollars of military equipment in Afghanistan. We didn't ask you all to, you know, make our borders porous and let any old body into the country. We didn't ask for none of this, you know, but that's what they did. And now, so because they did stuff that people didn't ask for, they don't have anything to run on. So, um, so, as I said before, the only thing they can do is try to remove the opposition, and the opposition is Trump, and they're trying all kinds of basically legal harassment in order to do so. And I think largely it won't work, but all they need, and that's the thing, they're throwing a bunch of spaghetti on the wall to see what it stick, and unfortunately, you know, all they need is one thing to stick so that they can hang their hat on and try to drive into the ground. And this is what I worry about, because you know, this will get rid of the president. I think did a much better job than who we have in office, and that's not to say that the others, uh, you know, uh, like DeSantis and Nikki Haley and whoever else is, and Vivek Ramaswamy. That's not to say that any of them wouldn't do a good job as president. We don't know because they've never been president. With Trump, we know he was president before. I have no issues with. Uh, well, I'm not gonna say no. For the most part, I think he did a good job as president. I didn't agree with some of the stuff he said, um, and I didn't agree with some of the stuff he said, but most of the stuff he did, I was like, okay, all right, that's cool. I can live with that. And so he's definitely you know done his administration did a better job than the administration that is currently in office, and I would rather have that Trump's administration than the current administration. Hey, what up, extended clips? How you feel, my bro? Yeah, I'm doing good. You doing good, man? Yeah, that's my Oakland brother, extended clips. A supporter of the show. Uh, one of the people that comes through that I appreciate seeing. You know, uh, I would like to see some of you others out there come on through. Hit the like buttons as you all come in. As you all are here, do me a favor, hit that like button, or hit the dislike button. Like I said, hit the dislike button. You don't like what I'm saying? Hit the dislike button. Let me know what's up, and I'll make a decision on that. Like I said though, I ain't doing puppies and butterflies. We do whiskey and skulls and fist fights over here. Um, and if you like that, I'll do more of it. You know, so been bogged down with work, but we locked in. I feel you. I feel you, man. Hey, get that money. Get that money, bro. I ain't mad at you. Get that money, get that paper. Especially now, man, because we don't know what's going to happen between now and December 31st of this year. So get it while you can get it. Yeah. So yeah, man. Yeah. So we was talking about the earlier the Jay Prince situation, bro. He was telling his story about his interaction with a young woman who she wasn't um she didn't have the summer's eve going on. Uh she smelled like she was on uh naked and afraid. Just felt like she was out there in the woods. you know, from how Jay Prince described it, she smelled like she was out there in the woods, running around, in nature, and you know, and not near water source. So yeah, she had some stuff going on. He was describing it, and basically, I was talking about how Jay Prince is basically, you know, he's one of these pookies that get out here because he went into talking about his baby mama situation, and how he might have a baby in Texas that, but he's not sure, but he met some chick while he was living out there for 2 years in a storage unit. Just a hot J Prince mess. Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. We was talking about that. We was talking about you know, uh basically we as men we need to work to keep our simpery in check to basically um you know keep uh tight restrictions on our simp programming to not let it overtake our thinking and have us doing stuff for people we don't know and that don't deserve it, especially outside our circle. We talked about that. We talked about you know, um, we talked about Dr. Thunder. He's doing this. He was doing a show. I don't know if he's still going, but he was talking about uh, you know, he was inspired by Candace Owens to do a show about how women have become the perverts, which, I don't know if I don't even know if it's that women have become the perverts. I think it's being exposed. That's the thing with, uh, all the social media platforms and, cameras being widely available to almost everyone, and we're seeing we're seeing women be human. Uh, we talked about whole tension, which is a term I came up with. Whole tension. That basically um, women doing you know pervert stuff, seeking attention, like the girl that body painted herself, and, in a thong. She made some basically some of those leggings, those tights, and she went to the gym. Basically she was, mostly naked. Went to the gym, and the men responded by asking her to leave, and they showed their displeasure. How what she was doing was really amounting to a distraction, and basically, we talked about how you have women like Candace Owens, just pearly things. That one woman with she's got like a man name, but uh, your women are starting to speak out against some of the stuff, some of the chaos that women are engaging in publicly. We talked about women my age and older, how in the quest for whole tension, they all on social media on these different platforms with the ass cheeks turned, taking pictures with the ass cheeks turned to the camera. You know, and how it's getting ridiculous. We talked about that. Um, did I talk about academic? Well, academics was the example of simpery that unchecked simpery and how it causes uh, it causes problems for your life. Uh, Talked about how women fought for all of these, fought for the right and more opportunities to make their own money and to be able to have their own autonomy and stuff. Which okay, fine, cool, I agree with that, but now we have to pay. We have to make them pay for everything. Since they wanted to take advantage of the system, now we're gonna make them participate in it and make them pay for everything. You know. So we talked about that. Um, just the how chivalry, how you know, they think chivalry is just about women, when actually very little of it is about women. Is how warriors treat the people around them, and women only locked into what they benefited from chivalry. you know, and how they complain that chivalry is gone. Chivalry is gone because you know you have fewer warriors in society. You have fewer men that uh, risk the possibility of going off to war, going off to fight, dying war. Different things like that. We don't have a warrior. Our war. Well, I'm not gonna say we don't have a warrior culture because we do. Our warrior culture is much smaller than it used to be. So yeah, what you say, Animal Planet? Yeah, man. Yeah. So, we talked about a few things, man. We talked about a little bit about the um Lavelle Crawford interview concerning Andrew Cat Williams. What am I talking about, Andrew Cat? I'm thinking about Andrew Tate. I briefly discussed that and how, Lavelle Crawford was pretty diplomatic in how he saw that situation. I respect how he really handled it. You know, uh, which I don't think Cat had anything bad to say about Lavelle Crawford. He just talked about, you know, Cat as he knew him, and he talked about how just he talked about the business, what happens, a little bit about what happens in the business. Comedians be stealing each other's jokes all the time. And yesterday I mentioned that there's a fine line between inspiration and theft of intellectual property. It is, you know, and it's like if you don't take the steps to protect your intellectual property, if someone is you know gets it out there before you get it out there, or they plant a flag in it before you plant a flag in it, especially in this day and age, it's kind of your fault. So it is what it is. Hey, I'll be back. Go do something. Yeah, and I'm back. Okay, so yeah, there's a few things. There's a lot we can talk about, and you know, I think the big thing is to, for me, is to just kind of, you know, put a blindfold, take a dart, throw it at the board, see what it is, and just run my mouth about it. That's basically what these shows are going to be built on. Is just me talking about different topics and different events, different things that happen um in the news and all kinds of stuff, man. So, you know, yeah, man. But um hey, listen, I think I got 8 people on the channel. Hey, why don't y'all do me a favor, hit the like or hit the dislike button. Hey, you know what? Hey, it probably hey, hey, motherfuckers probably all probably hit the thumbs down button. We hate you, you dumbass. Hey. I say we can't stand you. Hey, you know, it wouldn't be the first time. I've been called worse by better people. You know, it's not to say that you all are bad. You yeah, man. So, like I said, there's so much to talk about. It's like, where do I start? Or even where do I continue? Because there's so much stuff. Oh, I talked about Claudine Gay and that hearing that she went through, where that was actually in front of Congress, and there was Representative Stefanik was at her, man, and that's part of the clout wars that I was talking about, and how pretty much we are going to see going forward, especially in this year, we're going to see a lot of battles where clout, uh, comes into play, and then we're going to see a lot of, you know, cheating, like, in different areas like politics, academics, you know, career wise and stuff. There's going to be a lot of cheating exposed. A lot of people are going to be exposed for, nepotism and, things like that. Like Claudine Gay, she got exposed for academic cheating, over 40 instances, and we talked about that the other day, where I could understand one or two. You can kind of write that off as, oh, I didn't realize it was like this. And at the time, we didn't do enough due diligence to make sure this wasn't plagiarism. No, 40 times. Anything after two, it's like, I can't. 40? No, that's what you do. That's what you do. Anything, hey, listen, 2 times, you can excuse it. Anything after two, no, that's what you do. And 40, oh yeah, that's your modus operandi. We saw that with Claudine Gay, and then like I said the other day, what she should have did was just taken, quietly, step down quietly, used her clout to get her a position somewhere else where she was out of the public eye. She could still make her money, and you know, just let uh just let the heat die down. But no, no, she got, she wanted to put her nuts on the table. you she wanted to put her nuts on the table, and they subsequently smacked her nuts, you know, um, repeatedly. So, but yeah, that's what we talked about. There's some other things, I haven't talked about the immigrant crisis, the ongoing immigrant crisis, but it's wild, man. It's wild. Um, you know, I mean, there's a lot of stuff to talk about, man. And what I might have to do is just lock into some stuff and do some shorter videos, maybe some uploads, and talk about some of this stuff that's going on. Um, I haven't talked about the Color Purple remake that nobody asked for, but that was put out. I'm gonna tell you, sometimes they put out movies to uh the movies are not about getting viewers and creating a work of art. The movies are campaign ads. The movies are they indirect campaign ads in order to inspire certain voting blocks, like um, the Sound of Freedom to me was a movie to inspire voting block, and not that I have an issue with that. Hey, I think um, those on the right need to do more of that. Especially with what's going on. I think more on the right need to do that. Color Purple is the purpose of remaking that movie and putting it out was to inspire a voting base. The indirect message is you don't want to be oppressed by a man. Uh, you need to do what these black men ain't gonna do because these black men, they don't have they don't have your interests at heart. This was to rally the black female voting base. That's how I saw the color purple being re-released, being redid and put out there. And hey, it is what it is. I don't have an issue with that. I think libertarians, I think people, centrists, need to start putting out movies like that instead of just Hallmark, love garbage all the time. We need to put out, there needs to be put out for centrists or libertarians like myself, constitutionalists like myself. We need to put out movies. We need like the Red Dawn movies. We not necessarily Red Dawn because they did twice, but we need movies like that, showing Americans taking back their fighting these parties that want to control us and steer us in directions we don't want to go. You know, um, you know, I think that needs to be addressed more. And you know, I don't want to live in a theocracy, and I don't want to live in a you know, same sexuocracy. I don't, I don't want to live. I don't want the socialism, and I don't want the Zionism. You know, I don't want that. I want Americans to have the freedom to choose what's best for them and to be able to, Americans have that freedom of association, freedom of participation into the political system, things like that. You know, that's what I want. I want you know, and I want people in power. I want that power check because sometimes they do too much, and with the grassroots, I want to make I wanted to make sure that these people aren't manipulating the grassroots to um, come up with certain agendas and move in ways that are ultimately being controlled by these people with power. Um, Extended clip says, "I'm wondering that the academic lady was using GPT to cheat." Well, when she was in school, that was before Chat GPT. I think Chat GPT is something that came out within the last year or so. Uh, it's fairly recent. Her cheating goes back to when she was doing her undergrad and stuff like that in 2010 and different stuff like that when she was in school. So this was 14 years ago. Which man, that woman, if she is not that old, but she looks like that, man. Whew, ah, yeah, yeah. Extended clip says, "I agree with the color purple agenda. It is like when Obama was running. That's when they came out with the movie with Will Smith, being basically the savior of humanity and stuff. You can see You can see when they try to push certain agendas, like when they, when Obama, when they started pushing the same sexuals, their agenda, they started showing all of these movies like Moonlight and all kinds of stuff with the same sexual activities and all these same sexual activity movie scenes and stuff. When they want to move in certain directions, when they want to steer the public, when they want to social program you, they start putting stuff like that in movies and music and stuff. I noticed, I noticed all of that stuff, and I'm like, okay, all right, this is what these fools are trying to do, you know, and that's, the left is uh, highly experienced in doing that. And they have all kinds of ways to, both direct and indirect ways of pushing their agendas and stuff. The right uh, is kind of stuck, and it's like the right is stuck in the ways of old uh, boomers and silent generation guys, and it's like, no, you need it to get um the right needs to uh update itself, and you need to get rid of these guys with this old way of thinking. You shouldn't have a young guy coming up looking like Newt Gingrich. You don't need another young. You don't need a young, or you don't need Newt Gingrich 2.0. You don't need a Rush Limbaugh 2.0. That's why you're having the problems on the right that you're having now. Nobody wants to see that. You need to, who you need is that one congressman with the patch on his eye. You need cats like that. You need the Vivek Ramaswamis. Uh, there needs to be, uh, like for, you need a black vet bro type, you know, almost a gang member, not quite. You need a black hardened combat veteran that you know that on the right that talks about the freedman side of the right, because they or no, you really don't need the Nation of Islam guys, the NOIs, because ain't nobody buying it. But you need the vet bro types, um, that somebody that not one of these fake ass want to be a preacher type black dudes, the boulets. Sick of seeing that shit. Sick of seeing that shit. You need like I said, you need like a black vet bro. You need a black dude that is worked his way up, that talks like a regular American. He's not talking like this. You don't need that nigga. You don't need that nigga. You don't need a Charleston White necessarily, but you need somebody that's closer to Charleston White than this guy. We're gonna talk like there. Yeah, you don't. You need him closer to Charleston White than you need him to Steve Urkel, and nobody addresses that. You know, nobody addresses that for the freedmen Republican types. Because yeah, there is a difference. Black men need to get away from on the right. You need to say, hey, I agree with stuff on the right. Get away from that conservative shit, because what nobody outside of you understands what you're talking about when you say conservative. When you say conservative, they think it lines up. But the Tim Scott type guys, yeah, they don't understand what you mean, and you don't have a face out there because what you call conservatism isn't conservatism. It's not. It's not. You simply want black people to have businesses, make their money, have their families intact and stuff like that. That's not necessarily conservatism. What that is, that's Americanism and that's nationalism, which is fine. That's fine. All of that conservative for black men means that shit from the 40s when you was getting kicked in your ass by Billy Bob and you don't want to go back to that. And that's what when you say that, that's what white people on the right and everybody on the left, that's what they think you're talking about. You know, it's the clips. Hey, listen, Tim Scott wasn't the business. You need, you need I would rather have a Waka Flocka or a 50 Cent. You need a Republican closer to, you need a Freedman Republican closer to 50 Cent than you do Steve Urkel. You know, we don't need another Michael Steele. We really don't need a Ben Carson. You need a Nicholas Irving type Republican. I'm telling you, if you got a Nicholas Irving type Republican out there on the Freedman side, you know, um, I think that would I think that would I think that would get the attention of more definitely more black men. And Republicans, listen to what I'm telling you. I'm giving you the keys to the game. Listen to what I'm telling you and take it into strong consideration. Let me look this guy up and see. I knew his name. I can't recall it though right now. So I need a little help. You need a Dan Crenshaw Republican. Dan ain't no joke. Dan, you need a black version of a Dan Crenshaw. Dan Crenshaw needs to be what the new right looks like. Vivek, how you wonder how Vivek foreign policy would fare. You know what? I would actually I have a few thoughts, a couple of thoughts about Vivek. One, I think Vivek is probably a plant, but if he isn't, I would like Vivek to actually uh, be in charge. I would like him to be Secretary of State, and then that way we can see how he is with foreign policy. I would like to see how he fares with foreign policy too in the role of Secretary of State. So I'm with you on that, clips. I don't know if we are looking at it exactly the same, but you know I would like to. I agree with you. I would like to see how he would be on foreign policy, especially since all those H1N1 visas that uh, Biden signed that executive order for back in 2000 in 2020 were for primarily Indians from India with PhDs and advanced degrees and stuff. So yeah, it would be interesting because you know he definitely would have some insight into that. You know, but getting back to Daniel Crenshaw, we you know your white Republicans need to be more like that. This guy was he was a SEAL in the Navy. Um, living at, if you're one thing, those of us who've been in the military, we understand they don't use seals a lot, but seals they spend a lot of money on creating seals. And those guys are highly trained, and if you have a seal that has combat experience, that is not a man you want to fuck around with. He is no joke. Your Green Berets are no joke. Your Marine Recon are no joke. Any of them guys that get to that level in the military, they are not men you want to play games with. You know, um, I think we need to have more Republicans like that. I think we need to have some Nicholas Irving style black Republicans, Um, not the niggas for Trump, not the niggas for Trump guy, but we need to have some Nicholas Irving type Republicans. I would rather see more J.C. Watts from back in the day than Tim Scott. And that's no shade to Tim Scott, but was I don't think Tim Scott was as um masculine as he should have been. Tim Scott he seems more like an academic type guy, which there's nothing wrong with it, but you know, why do all the black Republicans that get put in the public eye, why do they all look like that? Safe for white people, niggas. I want Republicans. I want a black Donald Trump. I want to see a black Donald Trump. I want to see a guy with, you know, he's a cross between Donald Trump and Nicholas Irving. Get out there and be, the congressman or be a senator, for some state, like Louisiana or something. We need some of them guys with a dash of sprinkle a little boosie. you know, Man, we need to have some black Republicans that we can relate to. That for years they was saying, I want to vote for somebody I can drink a beer with. Yeah, we need black Republicans we can drink a beer with. Not these. I graduated first in my class. Black people don't take them guys serious. You need believable guys. Yeah, I'm on the right because I got tired of my neighborhoods getting shot up and everywhere you look in places that Democrats have the majority of the Democrats are running. Black neighborhoods are war zones. You need Republicans that talk like that. You need Republicans. You need a black Republican that look like he will wear you out in a fist fight. We don't need bookworms. You know, even on the white side, we're tired of seeing the Newt Gingriches. We're tired of seeing, look, yeah, look like the we're tired of seeing the corporates. We're tired of seeing the corporates. We want to see believable Republicans, period, across the board. And even if you're a corporate Republican, I mean, Vivek Ramaswamy is more Daniel Pena than he is a, Ben Carson. You know, he's really, for you want the corporate Republicans, they need to be more Vivek. You know, you need to see that. As far as women, I don't think Nikki Haley is the face of women on the right. I think that I would say Gabby um, Gabby Woodard would probably be a better look. That Stefanik uh, chick, the Stefanik chick. I would rather see more of that. As far as the females, on the right. What they do on the weirdos that they got on the left, keep them like that, so we could see exactly what nonsense they are up to. Let them have that on the right. In the center, we need real people. On the right, they need more realistic looking people. You know, let the weirdos and stuff be on the left, and you know, uh, let's get away from the Urkels and the Gingriches and the the Rush Limbaugh. The day of the Rush Limbaugh Republican needs to be over. That he's the reason that there's such a misunderstanding of what a liberal is. What liberals and conservatives are. A lot of people calling themselves liberals and conservatives based on what this fool was talking about when he had the definitions for both wrong. This is why I don't like that motherfucker. I can't stand I can't stand Rush Limbaugh. He had the shit wrong. He used language to misdirect people on the right. And so now you got people using terms that don't even make sense for what they actually are. I don't like them. And that's me going on my rant. I don't like Rush Limbaugh. You know, I am a liberal. I'm a libertarian. My thing is that respect my constitution, respect my rights within that constitution, respect my freedom. If you want to go over there and have blue hair and run around and be a 6'5" man and call yourself Kimmy, fine, go do that over there. I'm not I got no smoke for you. Go over there and leave me alone. You know, if you want to be a theocrat Bible thumper, fine, that's cool. Separation between church and state. Get your church up out of my government. I don't want to deal with your theocracy. Go do that over there in your church. You have the right and freedom to do that over there. Don't come over here with me with that. Just like I don't want the LGBTism over here. Keep that over there. Hey, take it easy, extended clips, but take that nonsense over there. You want to disco dance and stuff, fine, and stay away from the kids with it. That's a liberal. You're free to do what you want over in your circle. Don't bring it over here. I don't want it in my schools and stuff. Just like we don't need nobody's prayer in school. You take the kids to your respective religious places to do that. The kids should be in school should be learning about reading, writing, arithmetic, and 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 how to manage their money. That's all I believe education should be, especially at the you know at the primary levels. You know, all it is all of that conservative because as I mentioned before, what white people consider conservative and what black people consider conservative are two very different things, and they have nothing to do with what these people actually are. And the conservatism that both sides have is not good for either side. The conservative for black is oppression. Conservatives for white is for ultimately feminism. It's why we have these feminists now because that kissing women's asses too much. You know, that that those terms don't do us. They've been misrepresented, and now they don't do anybody any good. You know, um, and so I don't like that. I think I think Rush Limbaugh was just as responsible, just as irresponsible as Rachel Maddow, who I don't like that weirdo either. You know, she's a clown, and many of those on the left are clowns. You know, so that's how I see it, man. That what we have in office should change. Right now, your AOCs and what's that chick from the members of the squad. That's what the left looks like. They've updated themselves. Um, they these are pretty much the new boule and weirdos of the same sexual L Gibbets gang. Let them continue to show themselves. On the right, y'all need to get away from them Nixon Republicans, the Newt Gingriches and Rush Limbaughs and the nerdy for the black Republicans. You need to get away from them nerdy Tim Scott types. And like I said, no, there's nothing against Tim Scott, but that yeah, black guy and a white frat. Get get the fuck away from them guys. You know, you need a 50 Cent. you, you need a Waka Flocka Republican. You need to listen to these black guys that are like that are more that are realistic and start getting those guys. You need to get some Latino Republicans. I think Ted Cruz and what's the other one? Cruz and the, I think the Latinos are moving in the right direction. I think Latins on the right are moving in the right direction. And I think even though there's fewer of them in politics, I think they're more versatile politically. You don't. They're not all the same person. Marco Rubio, that was the other. They're not all the same. You know, they they're not all the same person. And yeah, they're not all that guy, you know. So yeah, I think that needs to happen. It's yeah, you know. I think that's what we need to see. You know, we need to have a black version of Dan Crenshaw. We need to have a a Nicholas Irvin type Republican. You know, um, so yeah, you know, you need that. Like I said, them or like a 50 Cent type. You know, uh, yeah. So, um, and we would refer to them as freedmen Republicans because blacks on the right, black Americans on the right have different expectations from uh, the Republican Party, and the Republican Party is not just about those um, on the right, and y'all need to get away from them what y'all call the far right dudes, them Jared Taylors and stuff, because um, that's a dead ideology ultimately, um, because nobody's buying it. It's dead. People know each other. People interact with each other. That shit he's talking about, he needs to take his punk ass back to the fucking Northern European country if it's that important. No, ain't nobody buying that shit. you know, guys that agree with that wind up having half black grandchildren. So, you whites are smarter. You obviously have not been to Justice, Illinois. You obviously have not driven through Indiana. You obviously have not been to North Dakota. You know, it's like when Umar talk all of this shit he's talking, it's like, dude, the kids in your city can't read. I mean, there are there are boulders that can be thrown at both of them types. The thing is, and their voices need to be a non-factor, and they need to have as little influence as possible at what happens, and how the actual real American thinks, because For real Americans, we are all in this together. We got issues. We got a China problem. We got a Russia problem. You know, we have a ISIS problem. We have all of these. We got some problems that the only way they're going to get fixed is if we all handle them together. You know, um, on some things we can agree to disagree, but we need to find as many areas as possible we agree on, and we need to stand together as U.S. citizens and handle this stuff. Because you know uh, some big changes are coming, and it's going to impact the life of each and every U.S. citizen in this country. So yeah, man, yeah, yeah, you know, um, but yeah, we we need to some different things need to happen um, for those on the right, you know, those who call themselves Republicans and stuff. And we need to let the Democrats keep doing what they're doing so we can see we can see that nonsense and point it out, hey, that shit ain't working. You see that ain't working. It's not cool to have some 6'5" man um, with a pair of Daisy Dukes on with no underwear under him twerking in front of a bunch of 5-year-olds. That's not cool. It's not. That's not the thing to do. We need to be able to point that out. Even even uh, the average same sexual is not with that. They're like, oh no, you don't went too far, buddy. Even they look at that, which they need more realistic people popping out because all of these Caitlins running around here. This dude would ordinarily be a super athlete, but instead he's a he's a 6'5" man masquerading as a woman. That shit ain't cool. And the same sections are like, nah, we don't like. That's weird, and that they even for what they're doing, they need better representation. That being said, leave them weirdos on the left. Leave them on the left. you know, leave leave them right out there. Uh, leave the man haters like Stacey Abrams. Leave them over there. Leave them over there. So they can do and say stuff. We can go see that's not going to work, and that's why. Look, you know. So yeah, man. Yeah, you know. But hopefully we can start seeing um more change in this year 2024. Change is ongoing. Nothing is guaranteed but change. I get all of that. Yeah, that's understandable. But hopefully we can see some more change. I believe the pendulum is swinging, um, pushing right more. Now, I don't want it to go too far right because then you get you get them you know, Newt Gingrich's and Rush Limbaugh's, they just wait on that side. Yeah, let's bring it our theocracy. Make everybody pray to Jesus. We don't want it to swing that far back again like it did in the early 2000s, because what happens is then it'll swing back left again, and the 6'5" Kimmies will be trying to, read to 10-year-old kids. So we want it to swing towards the middle. You know, if it stays in the middle, cool. I'm cool with that. The swings a little bit right past that. I'm cool with that. you know, what up, Mike Reed? What up, family? How you feeling there, bro? Yeah, you know, I don't want it to go too far um right because then it goes too far left. And that's what we're dealing with now. And you gotta you have a whole lot of nonsense out there. Everybody thinks they're the Joker on that side, and we don't need that. Royce Rage, yeah, baby, yeah. You know what? I think I might change the title of this to Royce Rage. You know. I think I might do that. What y'all think about that out there? What y'all think? I should change the title to Royce Rage. Day afternoon to you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Likewise. Back at you, bro. Yeah. Back at you. You know. But yeah, man. Um, we need to restore, like, I like Joe Brown. If we had more Republicans, more black freedmen like Joe Brown, I'm cool with that. I can deal. I think Joe Brown falls within that range of guys I can accept because he's highly educated, but he's a guy that also he grew up in the streets. He talks like the average American. He understands, with him working in the court system for years and being involved with all of the things that he's been involved with over the years. I think he has a great understanding of real people, you know, and he reflects that. I really like Judge Joe Brown, you know, so I think he would definitely uh, black Republicans should fall within that range, you know. I would rather see more Judge Joe Browns than I would Michael Steele's. You know, that's how I see it. You know, I think black Republicans need more range. You know, um, so I think you know, yeah, I would like to see that. Let the weirdos and stuff all be on the right. You know, because oddly enough, on the right, you have a lot of conservative Democrats. I mean, on the left, you have a lot of conservative Democrats. I'm sorry. On the left, you have conservative Democrats, but they don't show that. They show all of their weirdos and stuff. Let them worry about what's going on over there on the left. Let the socialists worry about their socialism. On the right and in the center, we need to worry about that. We need to, worry about the real people. And with the far right, we shouldn't get too far right because again, I don't want to live in a theocracy, you know, because that's what a lot of them believe. Theocracy, ethnocracies, stuff like that. I don't want to, raceocracies. I don't want to deal with that on the right, you know, on the far right, you know. They they go so far it becomes a circle. Believe it or not, it becomes a circle. They go so far right that they wind up becoming like the left, you know. And so I don't want to see that, you know. Anyway, man, I'm gonna get on out of here. I may come back later with another show. Uh, do me a favor, hit the likes on your way out, or hit the dislikes. Do what you do. Do something on your way out. Um, like, share, and subscribe. Hit the Cash App. All proceeds will go to improving the show. Um, I appreciate you guys, and I may come back later. Y'all be easy. Be safe, and you know, get that money. I'll talk to you later. I'm out.